The use of gold as money began as early as the 600s AD in what is now the Republic of Turkey. Ever since then, it has been widely accepted. Or has it? For millennia, gold and silver defined the standards of money. Nearly all global currencies relied on gold and or silver prices as their standards. In 1873, the gold standard that made exclusive use of gold prices as its reference became the basis for the international monetary system, causing the price of silver to drop. This is why the price of gold today is so much higher than the price of silver. Some economists, such as John Maynard Keynes in the 1920s, tried to keep the gold standard rules in check. But the national central banks endorsed by governments had the true influence over price levels and specie flows. Eventually giving way under pressure, Keynes began to encourage the use of paper money to substitute for gold so that gold reserves would be centralized. This was perhaps a fatal mistake, which led to more controversial actions that would follow. The gold standard, however, remained active for several more decades. In August 1971, then President Richard Milhous Nixon, #NotMyPresident, officially abolished the international gold standard. This is known today as the Nixon shock. It was the first time in the history of mankind that money was no longer backed by gold and instead forced everybody to use paper money system as set by Keynes. This is why today when we hear the term legal tender, it almost always refers to paper money. Legal tender is defined as a monetary standard based on government order and not necessarily on actual intrinsic value. 3 months after the Nixon shock, the Smithsonian Agreement was signed by the Group of Eight. This controversial action appreciated all worldwide currencies against the US dollar. It was from that time forth that a period of global inflation began spiraling, culminating in the Great Recession, which has plagued the world since 2007 and has continued to the present day. The problem with paper money is that it is, well, paper. It's paper. It has no value. You can set fire to it or you can rip it to shreds. And it's gone forever. That's paper money for you. It is, the more of it you print, the less its value. And this is what gives rise to inflation. By contrast, gold and silver are precious metals. They are indestructible. They don't combust, they don't corrode, they don't oxidize. So why do you think they have been so valuable since ancient times? Thankfully, there have been some people who recognize the danger of the paper money system and have aimed to revive the gold standard using modern proposed currencies backed by gold and silver. As early as the 2000s AD, a couple of mints began reviving the gold dinar and the silver dirham, the coins that had been used as the original bimetallic monetary standards in Turkey in the 600s AD. About a year later, this caught on to the eyes of some politicians then in power who proposed a new currency to be used for international trade among the nations of the world using a modern gold dinar, which by modern standards is defined as 4.25 grams of pure gold, and a silver dirham defined as 2.975 grams of pure silver. This, it was said, would be a stable unit of accounts and a symbol of universal unity among the peoples of the world. It would also reduce dependence on the US dollar which, as we have established, has been the main cause of inflation, and also establish a fresh, non-debt-backed currency where the charging of interest is no longer of any concern. Sadly, this idea was rejected by the rest of the world's leaders, and to this day the globe continues to rely on the US dollar as their main reference for trading in reserve currencies, and with it to get plagued by inflations and great recessions galore to no end. In mid-November 2021, right outside the doors of Llandaff Cathedral over here, we laid the foundations for what would in time become the UK's #1 scootering and media conglomerate. The name Peace and Love Scooters was used for the very first time that day, because we were intending to promote something that had never before been done in the UK. The popular extreme sport of scootering, hence scooters, done not in skate parks but outside cathedrals that were centuries old, hence peace, and accompanied by a genre of music that had not been heard in the UK in the last 20 years, the love-centric, middle-of-the-road music genre, hence love. It was a breaking of new ground, a collision of three contrasting worlds that, to the best of my knowledge, had never before seen the light of day up to that time. And all the while, during those past 3 years, we in Peace and Love Scooters continued to build up our reputation with this new breaking ground and save up our cash with it. But while we kept saving the pound notes, inflation kept increasing. I can still remember how, at Sainsbury's in Cardiff Queen Street, a box of king prawns once cost only about £1 in 2021. Within half a year, by mid-2022, the same box of king prawns with the same quantity within now cost a whopping £2.75. Inflation was definitely going up, and something had to be done. 3 weeks ago, I was invited to attend the meeting in Bath, which is where Peace and Love Scooters is now based as of August 2024. The facilitator of this meeting, a young gentleman, shared with us about the gold dinar and silver dirham system and how its usage can help to not only protect us against inflation, but also serve as money, a new monetary system that allows us to buy goods and services and also transcends national borders. It was the first time ever that I was hearing this message. I did research on what was shared. I would advise every one of you to do the same. And from what I learned, it was just amazing. I realized that adopting the gold dinar and silver dirham as a monetary standard, as an official monetary system, would be a form of privatization of money, which would make it completely impervious to any inflations. And this is why I'm able to stand here today and talk to y'all. Today here in Llandaff, right outside the doors of the very same cathedral where we were first named, we at Peace and Love Scooters are very proud to be introducing the official use of the silver dirham and gold dinar as our official unit of currency. And this means that as of today, all of our goods and services under the Peace and Love Scooters brand will be accepting payment only in dinars and or dirhams. You see in my hands here an authentic pure silver 10 dirham coin. There is even an official certification there signed by an authorized cleric, and the reason why it's sealed up and laminated is to protect the coin from being tarnished by the direct human touch. There are so many reasons to use the dinar and dirham today. First off, they give you the best of both worlds. They can be used as bullion, as a hedge against inflation, which most of us will know about. But what most of us don't know about is that they can also be used as money to pay for goods and services on the basis of mutual consent. It doesn't matter that they may not be legal tender. The important thing, as I have learned, is that both buyer and seller must agree to the transaction. So in essence, you can kill two birds with one stone when you use the dinar and the dirham. Secondly, this is such a welcoming currency. According to the standards established by the mints, dinars and dirhams can be used worldwide in any country, and this means that if you travel, you no longer need to go to a money changer at the airports. Regardless of race, age, religion, gender identity, sexuality, ability, and so on, everybody is welcome to use the dinar and the dirham. They are the currency of the people, by the people, and for the people. As long as there is mutual consent between both parties, they can be traded anywhere and with anyone. The devaluation of paper money and the inflation that comes with it affects each and every one of us, regardless of our differences. We are all in the same boat. We are all fighting against the imposition of the paper money currencies that make our wages and savings lose value over time. Now, one question some of you might be asking is, how do you decide the pricings of a dinar and a dirham? Thank you for asking that, my friend. The pricings of a dinar and dirham will be established in relation to the goods and services that they are exchanged for. Quite naturally, at the beginning, the most dominant reference for price will be paper money, because all the new dinars and dirhams will have to be purchased with paper money at the mint. The price will be first uniquely established by the value of the coins at the mint, and therefore it is not us who decides the pricing of the dinar and the dirham, but the mint staff, the people at the mint who decide it. There is a mint up in Manchester called Sunnah Currency, which does the mintings for all the known gold dinars and silver dirhams in the UK, including this. Like all coins worldwide, dinars and dirhams may be minted into multiple denominations. Like, for example, this coin here you see in my hands is worth 10 dirhams. Once there are enough coins and the general public are encouraged openly to use them, such as in a rally like this, the coins will start to circulate through the community, and the mint will continue transforming more and more paper money into dinars and dirhams. At some point in time, the number of coins in circulation being bought and sold by the public in exchange for other goods and services will reach a level much higher than the number of coins coming directly out of the mint. And at such a point, that's when the price of the dinar will naturally be established, in terms of a new set of references for the goods for which it is mostly exchanged, just like the price of paper money is usually referred to certain common merchandise and services. The general consensus today, though, is that people will say 1 dirham can buy a chicken, okay? Or in modern context, an average box of, say, 2 grilled chicken fillets from Sainsbury's. So that would be the price of a dirham. It has often been said that a chicken during the 600s AD cost 1 dirham. Today, a box of 2 grilled chicken fillets from Sainsbury's also costs 1 dirham. Therefore, inflation is zero, zilch, nada, which gives another reason for us to use the dinar and the dirham. Dinar and dirham prices are independent of each other. There is no fixed rate of exchange between them. The existence of more than one currency side by side, like having gold and silver, gives the individual a choice. If one currency consistently loses its value, people will abandon it and choose another, unlike most countries where governments keep for themselves their right to establish their legal tender. Gold and silver are independent of the financial system and governments. They prevent governments from taxing their own people through the currency. Keeping money out of the control of politicians is its best guarantee for stability. Ultimately, the privatization of money will have to be the final resort of all free societies in their search for a sound money to carry out their commercial activities. And the best part is that there is no compulsion. It's your life, it's now or never. You decide what you want to do with it. All we can do on our end is to give you as many reasons as we can why we think, in our opinion, you should give the gold dinar and silver dirham system a try. But ultimately, it is your life, it's your decision. You decide. And as always, I encourage all of you, every one of you who is listening to this under the sound of my voice, to make sure you do your research on your side as well, and then make your decision based on whatever you have researched. But for all of you who are genuinely interested, I encourage you to visit the Sunnah Currency website to buy your gold dinars and silver dirhams, and help us to propagate their circulation around the country, help to free the world from the bondage of the legal paper money system that has enslaved and impoverished the world for the last half century. The website will be http://uk.sunnahcurrency.com. That's https://uk.sunnahcurrency.com. sunnahcurrency.com. You can find more information there on how to purchase and use the dinar and the dirham. Visit the Sunnah Currency website today and let us begin a journey to a wealth that has